So one of the things, when my first job ever, I was 8 years old. It was a volunteer position because child labor laws, but it was a part-time job. I had a schedule and I showed up every day or every other day. And
wow.
I had duties. My brother and I both worked there. It was a nursing home.
Okay.
Where we put people to forget about them.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So seeing how much just 2 kids showing up twice a week to talk to people.
Yeah.
How much that changed their lives. My brother and I would put on, since the staff there was so overworked and they just couldn't do anything extra. My brother and I did things like we decorated. We ran a bingo game twice a week. We helped with mending their clothes because their hands weren't really as dexterous.
Sure.
That's not the right. Anyway, they couldn't sew things anymore. So they would bring their stuff by and I would help sew buttons on and we'd talk about their grandkids. And
oh, cool.
One of the ladies there, I was kind of matched with her as like an adopted grandparent because she crocheted and I was learning to crochet. And so we'd sit around and crochet and talk. And the whole feel of the place was lifted.
Amazing.
And people who were really not doing well perked up. Have you ever seen like, and I don't want to equate people with dogs, but you know how a dog gets older and then you introduce a puppy and that dog perks up?
Mm-hmm.
People do that too.
Interesting.
And for 4.5 years, we worked there.
Wow.
And the only reason we stopped working there is because we moved. And in the 2 months after we moved, there were about 5 or 6 people who just, yeah. Wow. So it's kind of huge to see how significantly we affect each other.
Yeah.
When you're 12 years old. So then after we moved, my mom started working at a literacy council teaching grown-ups to read.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of get to know a lot of different stories. Like if you don't see this stuff in real life, you kind of believe the narrative that everyone has the same education and everyone has the same opportunities. And there's a checklist that we're all going through and checking off. And why aren't you up to speed? And you get to see a lot of different ways that life happened.
Mm.
So in part of working with the Literacy Council, there was also a connection with United Way and the local churches in our little community. So we got to start working with homeless families. And again, there's a lot of preconceived notions about how you get there. Like it's always poor choices and it's usually drug use. And I'm like, maybe 10% of the time.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it was a mother with children. Mm-hmm. And either she or one of the kids got sick and she lost her job.
Yeah.
How many of us, and I know the answer to this because I've been keeping track since then.
Yeah.
Over 2/3 of the U.S. population is living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Even those who are doing well, making over $100,000 a year, they're still living paycheck to paycheck because if they missed one, they'd lose everything.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
The fact that we think we're so far removed from homelessness,
right,
is just, it's not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any of us could end up there, and most of the people who end up there never saw it coming.
Right. Right. Well, and just running that gerbil wheel, knowing that it can be a desperate situation, is so stressful. And that itself, just that level of stress is, I mean, we were talking about health a second ago. You know, these things are all part of the ecosystem, to use your word. And that's really hard. So the more disadvantaged you are, and the harder you're having to work just to survive, the more likely you are to end up in that situation where you're sick. Yeah.
because we're not designed to operate at that capacity, at that heart rate, at that level of worn out all the time.
Yeah. So you're 8 years old and hanging out with little old folk and brightening their day. And you're learning at an amazingly early age that your life matters.
Yeah.
Why are our kids in school and stuck in books, and why are we not all learning this? I mean,
because that makes for a very disruptive population. It's hard to control a population if they're all thinking for themselves.
Oh gosh. Wow, yeah. What do you do?
If you want good workers, workers who show up, I don't like the word good. It hides a lot of things.
It does.
Just like quality hides a lot of things. If you want people who show up, don't ask too many questions and just do what they're told, we have designed the system to train them.
We have.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't think
I didn't take to my training very well.
I don't think I really quite understood how much we lose in that equation until I'm talking to somebody who gets to see positive impact of her life at such an early age. I mean, do you consider yourself a nonconformist?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be a nonconformist. I should be fairly normal. Like this is nothing I'm talking about is crazy or out in left field. This is all just basic stuff.
Yeah.
But what's weird to me is that I'm a nonconformist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think maybe we should say that we're the normal folk. And
I think so.
The more that we obey culture, the less we are in touch with what we really need. We're always talking about intentional living, purpose, and contentment. It's so much fun. I put together these conversations in an online virtual summit. You can see the rest of this conversation and a whole bunch more at simplifymy.life. By the way, it's all free. That's really cool, right? Click the Learn More button when you get there, and that will show you the dates. Mark your calendar, register to save your seat, and I will see you at the summit. Don't miss a thing. This information is so exciting, and I'm so passionate about this topic because what it does is it takes us out of overwhelm into clarity and contentment and confidence, and that's really exciting for me, and that's what I want for you. So thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Go check out simplifymy.life now and register. See you at the summit. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.